Welcome to Twisted Monday. It's a day I've been dreading. Not Monday. I love doing these weekly playthroughs, but this one is Twisted Metal 2012, clearly. And on Twisted Difficulty, the second campaign. I've already done the first campaign with Sweet Tooth here. He's already dead. Don't worry about him. But Mr. Grimm's campaign is next. And, it puts the first campaign to shame. Much, much harder in every way, right from the very beginning. Gotta cut the music because it is full of licensed tracks. You don't want to hear Sammy Hagar anyway. Frankly, my mix is better. Also, I stole some songs from this game's original soundtrack. So, we get the cream of the crop, plus good stuff from other video games. Now you'll notice, I've already completed the entirety of this whole campaign, because you do not want to see blind, unpracticed playthroughs of anything in this campaign. Ooh, you really do not. You probably don't even want to see the video that I'm about to show you. Hopefully this goes well. I've done a lot of practice. I got all the gold medals except for this one and the last one. But anything can happen. This is not in my hands. It is in the hands of a malicious god named Calypso. Let's learn more in the intro cutscene.
My name is Daniel Grimm, and I'm an asshole. I've robbed people, killed people. Hell, some of the ones I killed, I know they didn't have it coming. But I wasn't always like this. My life, it used to be different. It used to be good. I'd sit up in that beat-up truck of his. Every few days, a brand new town, a brand new stadium. But even with all the fans, all the excitement, it was being in that truck with my dad that I loved the most. He was my idol. And in that get-up of his, I thought he was a damn superhero.
Back in town to shatter the world record he set just last year. Please welcome the high-flying, death-defying stuntman that death himself is too scared to touch. The one and only Mr. Grimm!
That night I learned the truth. The world don't give a crap about you, so I figured I might as well return the favor. Doesn't take a genius to figure how it all worked out. Come on, motherfucker! Turns out, I'm the bad guy. But what if that one jump never happened? What if I could go back and warn you? If I die in this contest, I'm fine with that. Hell, I'll welcome it. But if I win, I'm going back to stop him from trying that jump. I'm going back to save his life. And maybe then, my life will turn out different.
Kind of a sweet story with a tragic ending for Mr. Grimm Jr. We wish him the best, as we repeatedly get shown Dollface and then I have to switch back. We'll get used to it. Anyway. We have to do some really awful things. If you played any of Twisted Difficulty yourself, you know this is a very bad idea what I'm about to do. Not choosing Talon. Talon is one of two vehicles that we can actually use on Twisted Difficulty. Actually, we're going to use like 4 different vehicles in this video, so That'll be exciting. More than the last time I played this game, that's for sure. Doesn't matter what gun we take, and as many juggernauts as we can get. But we need that first Talon. Let's see why. And also get a little intro from Calypso. I'm leaving those in as well. There was some stuttering in the cutscene, and this is the installed version of the game. That really should not be happening, but it's gonna happen. Probably a bunch throughout this playthrough, because this game is horribly optimized.
Welcome to Diesel City. Its best days are long behind it. Actually reminds me of you, Mr. Grimm, but perhaps there is hope. Destroy 2 juggernauts before they flood the city with enemies. They won't appear on radar and their spawn rate is deadly fast. But stay strong. Your chance to change the past begins here.
So this is one of the hardest levels in the entire game. And it's how Mr. Grimm's campaign starts. This is what we need Talon for. Talon is the solution to Juggernaut. And Mega Guns are the solution for Talon's obvious weaknesses. Now we just need to find the various Juggernauts that are scattered around this level. There's one. They don't show you any information whatsoever on the map while you're looking for our Juggernaut here. We need to get close enough that our guns lock on, and no closer. So I'm gonna let it do this turn. It's gonna do a little dog leg here. And then I can sneak up behind it again. This should finish it. There we go. That took almost all of our Mega Guns. We can only hold 300 bullets total. And it took over 200 to kill one Juggernaut. So now I need to get 2 more Mega Guns. I know where all the pickups are for Mega Guns, though. They're that important. And I should really top off my health as well. It's probably going to take a while to find Juggernaut, so I'm going to get this one. Thank you for the help. Purple triangle, who decided to freeze me and then drive away. It's a delaying tactic, and they know it. They just want to slow me down here. Homing missiles will also be nice. This vehicle descends very slowly, and that becomes a bit of a problem. You can actually hit R3 to descend faster, which is a very awkward button to hit. Freezes last so unbelievably long. You have to hammer the button that entire time, or it takes even longer. And there he is. We should have him now. But we might not. The gun just might not lock on properly. I like our odds. We got another one. So he only got 1 spawn, I think? Maybe 2. Too many, of course, but this is about as well as it can go. We are actually on track to getting a gold medal here. I've never gotten a gold medal. The cleanup part is the part that slows you down so much that you're likely to lose any opportunity of getting a gold medal. But this has gone as expected thus far. If I can, I will try and use Talon to kill some enemies. Sweet Tooth's a volunteer here. Our special is bad. I'm gonna try not to use our special, but if I run out of Mega Gun, which I just did, we use the special. Which is effectively a Mega Gun, but it like locks you in place. you can't double it up with the Mega Gun, and the Mega Gun is stronger. So given the choice, Mega Gun every time. We're obviously going to switch to Juggernaut soon. But for now, we'll try and do things in a more interesting way. Honestly, I got a little sick of seeing Juggernaut the entirety of the last campaign. As fun as it is to play as Juggernaut, this level is very ill-suited to Juggernaut. Look at the layout of this thing. Juggernaut doesn't drive very well. Doesn't have very high top speed, and the roads are awkward here. Okay, Reaper's gonna get free first, of course. They love going inside these buildings. Like, here he goes. Can't get to him anymore because I'm in a helicopter. It's Crimson Fury that has the purple triangle. Or the pinkish purple. And thus, that's the guy who froze me and drove away at the beginning of this run. The safe thing to do is to switch to Juggernaut. The fast thing to do is stick with Talon here for another kill or two. However, the enemies are not participating. Here we go. Okay, Junkyard Dog's here. It's a good thing Mr. Grimm is a trained helicopter pilot, so we're probably going to be here a while. Let's just accept our fate and get to work. We're still not quite safe as Juggernaut. If the remaining 4 enemies did decide to team up, we would still probably lose a lot of our life very quickly. I'm gonna get out of this area because I don't want to get stuck forever. If I try to climb these mountains, I will get stuck forever. And then you just have to reset. You can eventually finagle yourself out. It takes an incredibly long amount of time. And enemies will come and murder you in that meantime. So you want to stick on these highways, and you want to stick near the garage. Because we could very easily end up needing another Juggernaut. So this is about as far as I'm willing to go. But we barely need to touch Crimson Fury to make him explode. I am sort of locked into the highway now. Like, I can do this tail swing attack to sort of swerve my way out. It's very awkward. But we'll deal with it. And since this is like the longest level I have to deal with in this whole run, let's talk about Mr. Grimm's alternate endings. I talked about how this game was meant to have 3 endings per character, and all but one of them were cut from the game in every instance, and also how this game was originally rated T for teen. And then they got bumped up to an M rating and rewrote all the stories to make them hyper edgy, unbelievably violent. Some of the goriest cutscenes I've ever seen. But Mr. Grimm's story changed the least in the transition from T-rated to M-rated. There goes Mr. Grimm vehicle. Good riddance. An alternate Juggernaut. Giving me trouble here. Pretty good. So we're gonna see one of Mr. Grimm's endings. One of them did make it into the game. He does still have a story. But his other endings are... he wants to make the jump that his father couldn't. We just saw his father die in a Daredevil stunt gone awry. So Mr. Grimm has been obsessed with that for years. He did all the research and discovered the jump is impossible. No motorcycle could ever make that jump. It's simply too great a distance. So, when he wins the contest, he wishes for a bike that can make the jump, despite the impossibility. And Calypso can do that. He summons a ghost bike made from the spirits of other motorcycles driven by other daredevils. Not the spirits of the daredevils themselves, but the spirits of the bikes. And that bike can do anything. Fly any distance. This guy is on the roof, so I can't possibly get to him in Juggernaut. I might actually switch back to Talon. This guy's not gonna play. So yeah, he gets the ghost motorcycle. He sets up the jump. He does it, goes off that ramp, and the bike does indeed make it across the gap. But Mr. Grimm's wording was off. He wished for the bike to be able to make it. Grimm himself does not make it across the gap. He falls off the bike. Oh, we got someone coming for me. Finally. Mr. Grimm falls off the bike to his demise. And I win. One step closer to falling off that bike and dying. I think we are 2.5 minutes shy of the gold time. That's how ridiculous this is. Getting all gold medals here is not worth it. A waste of one's life. Oh, I just hit replay. So we got some loading screens. Oh well. Mr. Grimm, he fell off his bike. He died. The bike lands perfectly on the other side. Then Calypso shows up on the announcement monitor, like the big screen, the Jumbotron, eating a hot dog, and eulogizes Mr. Grimm and then says, "Thank you for playing Twisted Metal." It was a T-rated game. I guess I'll talk about his other alternate ending, because there were meant to be 3 total endings, during the next chapter. But first, we have several more loading screens, and then we'll get to see Calypso's intro for the Grindhouse level. That was a new best time, so doing great so far. I'm gonna switch to starting with Juggernaut, then keeping Talon in reserve, because I do want a Talon on pretty much every mission for this campaign. We can't just go all brute force. Although we did in the first campaign. This time we need a little more strategy, a little more skill. In as much as skill will get you anywhere. This is a very random campaign.
Welcome to the Grindhouse. Lots of enemies in a really tiny space. Oh, you're going to love this, Mr. Grimm.
Don't care where they die, Calypso. Just as long as they do.
One.
Did you know Mr. Grimm is kind of a scumbag? He likes the murder. I'm surprised we spawned on the ground floor. I played this level several times and I never spawned on the ground floor. I always spawn on the roof, which is disastrous when you are in Juggernaut. Very hard to get down from there. But we are down from there already. Best thing to do here is just sort of strafe back and forth for a while. Use our special when it comes up. Crush Kamikaze. It's all about ram damage. At this point, we gotta switch out, obviously. They're not allowing me to, though. I was at 1% HP. I literally could not have gone another second without getting in there. But I did. And now they will pay. Every time we kill someone, it'll be a bunch of women screaming. Because this is Dollface's gang. And they're all just Dollface. Dollface's voice. And character model. That's all we're gonna see. I probably won't be able to use our original Juggernaut again. I'm surprised no one else has died. There we go. And there I go. Our first death. Almost certainly not our last, though. As much as it was good luck that we spawned on the ground floor, everything else was very bad luck. That should have worked out relatively well. Getting health refills is pretty tough, and additional weapon pickups are also very limited. You really do want to stay on that ground floor and just grind people in the Grindhouse. Stay on the ground floor, though. This is a blessed run. Okay, I got counter Juggernaut. Our special is super strong. This is a great vehicle. I don't know what happened there. Maybe a shotgun blast. Who knows? I'll save that Juggernaut. He's done enough. Okay, that was Reaper. You can barely even tell. I'm actually going to try and go for a health refill. There are a few I actually can get to. I think. Okay. They're hitting me with sniper rifles, which is the death of me.
Death is imminent. Find some help.
You said it, announcer. Talon gets a go. A bit unfortunate, actually. We'll see how this works out. Meanwhile, Mr. Grimm's alternate ending.
Mega guns.
The second one is simply that he wants to see his father again. But he's very careful with his wording. He wants to see his father in the current day. Like right then and there. He's not careful enough with his wording. He should have said, I want to see my father alive and well in the current day. But he doesn't. So Calypso digs up his father's corpse. And you think right there, wish granted. Because he didn't use his magic powers at all. But it turns out he wanted to use his magic powers. He just felt a little lazy for a while. So what he does is he takes that corpse and he puts it in a car, driving the car with Mr. Grimm in the passenger seat, both generations of Mr. Grimm. But unfortunately, the dead father is driving. But he can't drive, he's a corpse. A desiccated, partially mummified corpse. So, Mr. Grimm freaks out, obviously. Realizes he is not long for this world. And the vehicle plows headlong into Juggernaut, as driven by Calypso, who then laughs and says, I'm Calypso and I thank you for playing Twisted Metal or whatever. Very silly, very cheesy. The entire game was supposed to be very Twisted Metal 2 style. A lot of corny jokes. The tone was very, very off. Jaffe himself admits they really could not nail the tone. They were always trying to make it too edgy, and then they would go too silly to compensate, and it was just back and forth. And with the fact that it was live action, they didn't have the budget for all the reshoots that they had to do to make up for the constant rewrites and stuff. So switching to an M rating really saved the game, but the writing is still bad. Even in the final game, even in the M-rated version. No matter what version you get, they wrote themselves into a corner. And even that corner is not very good. We do have to kill the remaining guys, though, and that's about it. They're not cooperative. And the damn truck just absorbed my freeze shot. Where's everyone else hiding? Inside the theater, of course. Controlling Talon is something I was worried about. It is very intuitive. Talon is very well designed. You wouldn't think so. Because even the cars are not very well designed in this game, based around driving cars. But no, the helicopter works like a dream. I got no problem with it. Oh no, you don't. Oh, you did. Well, fuck. Nothing I can do about that. Crimson Fury is by far the fastest vehicle in the game. So if it wants to get away from a freeze shot, it will. And it did. Not for very long, though. Nice. Now it's desperately trying to get back in there. No such luck.
Fury destroyed. 2 opponents left.
Screw this. We should have one reasonably well-repaired Juggernaut available to us. 93% armor. I didn't really use garages very much in my original playthrough, but when you leave a vehicle in there, it regenerates health slowly. They're able to read our inputs, of course, so they will shield at the perfect time every time.
One enemy remains.
But other than that, one Axle versus one Juggernaut is not really a fight. They can drag this out. I don't think we're going to get the gold medal. Actually, we will, if Axle dies. There he is. 7.5 minutes should be the time limit for every single level, because the time limits are all increased to compensate for the higher difficulty level. I hit reset again. Damn it all. Sorry about that. I did practice these levels a bunch, but that has made it so that reset is now the default option rather than move on to the next level, which is what happens when you normally press X.
Welcome to the grind.
So, someone remind me of that before this next level comes to an end. That is impossible to do. I'll have to remind myself. Put a post-it note over my screen that says, don't hit X. Thrills and spills. Time to go to the amusement park level for the only time in the entire game. Same vehicle loadout. Juggernaut has a horrible time navigating this level, so in an emergency we might have to bust out Talon. But this level is basically decided in the first minute or two. You'll see what I mean soon enough. For now, we will enjoy this level, because it's one of the best ones, and we only see it once in the entire game.
You know, Mr. Grimm, I just love a good theme park. Don't you? It's just about impossible to be sad in a place like this, isn't it? So much fun, so much joy. In fact, it's the kind of place Daddy would have taken you as a kid, when he was still breathing, I mean.
Fuck you.
Come on, Grimm. Just a joke. I like to tease.
Channel that anger into your opponents, Grimm. So we need to kill a lot of them very quickly, because there are 8, and they will all stay in the cage that we had to stay in. Meaning, we are in for a lot of damage very, very quickly. I'm not getting any weapons. There are several health refills just outside of the cage, so we can go for those. I really need turbo, like badly. I'm not sure why I'm not getting any turbo. I think the enemies might have accidentally grabbed some. Okay, this is actually pretty good. Should have gotten the Mega Guns there. Because even with Juggernaut, they're the best weapon that you can possibly get. Turbo really is the ultimate weapon when you're a Juggernaut, though. It increases your ram damage to nearly 100. Whereas Mega Guns, we actually have to aim. Aiming is hard. This is a very awkward vehicle. Don't want to go up there. We'll get stuck. I'm partially stuck now because I went up there. Still no turbo. Turbo is essential for, like, unsticking yourself in situations precisely like this. This thing again. We can't even use it. It just causes problems. A turbo pickup, hooray. Cage is gonna move all the way across the map. Okay. We got plenty of time. Even if the cage starts to hurt us, like we run out of our grace period, it'll be fine because we have so much HP. By far the most. So, not too worried about that aspect. Another one down. Somehow 6 enemies are remaining. There's the rest of them. You get the hell out of here. Warthog, I predict, will be the last one standing besides me. I will say, though, this has not gone very well. So I don't mean to be overconfident just yet. I'm actually going to go for the garage now. I fully expected to use at least 2 Juggernauts here. And maybe we'll do some cleanup with Talon. We'll see. I think everyone in that car said, like, woohoo while they were flying through the air. I like to think that, at least. Okay, after this cage, the enemies are going to start, or the cages are going to start moving to the higher levels, and that is catastrophic for us. This vehicle cannot reasonably get to the higher levels. You might have seen in the opening cutscene, there's like a castle and like a haunted house. They're all very high up on hills, way above us. And if we have to go there, it's going to be a big problem. How are there still 3 enemies left? I guess because I couldn't get turbo for a long time. They very wisely deprived me of turbo. Warthog died somehow. Yeah, we're up on the hill now. This is a job for Talon. Pretty much worst case scenario, except for dying. I would say it's possible that dying would actually, like, be faster, but the load times are so bad in this game. Unbelievably bad. That I think just riding this out for minutes on end, not actually accomplishing what you need to accomplish, is still faster than dying
Seconds.
and reloading and hoping for better RNG.
One enemy remains.
Did this guy just get a... Yeah, he just got a health refill. Oh well. We'll soften him up. I am shocked that he didn't put on his shield, but glad. And still, easy gold. But it... you won't believe what I just did. I hit X to replay the level. Oh well. It's very possible to do that much faster. You could kill like 3 or 4 enemies before the cage moves even once. That just didn't go very well. I don't think the enemies assigned to you are random there. I do think you start with the same set of opponents every time. And you'll note that I started there with Talon already selected rather than Juggernaut, who was in my first slot. Because when you do replay a level, I learned this the hard way, you start with the vehicle you were on last, which can screw you over if you need Juggernaut. Story time. Let's learn more about Mr. Grimm, who does not appear in this middle cutscene. So let's not learn more about Mr. Grimm, let's learn about the Preacher.
That your cursed contest has rained down upon us all. It ends tonight. Oh, it ends tonight, Calypso. And it ends with me. For my God has come, and he has given me the honor of waking the suffering from their slumber of fear. And once awakened, we will all rise up. We will rise up this very night, and we shall tear down your tower of sin. Oh, I know who you are. I know who you really are.
Turns out, Mr. Grimm's story was very scant in the finished game, so they had to pad it out by showing us the Preacher not even doing anything. In fact, he doesn't do anything in the entire game, spoiler alert. Literally a pointless character, but also the secret protagonist. We're going 3 Juggernauts this time. All out, finally. The moment we've all been waiting for. Let's get to work in Watkins Harbor, another level very awkwardly laid out to make driving as Juggernaut as difficult as possible, but still relatively easy.
Welcome to Watkins Harbor. A great place to introduce my newest event, the Endurance Match. The enemies, motivated gang members of fellow contestants, just keep coming. Take one out, another appears. To win the battle, you have to reach the kill limit. It's the only way back, Mr. Grimm. The only way back to Daddy.
So this is the level where we first fought Juggernaut as Sweet Tooth. And what I really should have done with that level was take Talon, because Talon is the Juggernaut killer. But there's no Juggernaut here this time. I don't know why Junkyard Dog was able to stop me in my tracks. That has never happened before. It's kind of screwed me over, but I got a good starting point. My spawn point was very good, starting right near this thing. So let's trade out that broken Juggernaut for a new one. There was a sniper rifle on me. I'm surprised we haven't seen more sniper rifles pointed at me. Very, very frequently, these runs will simply end instantaneously. You'll be doing great. And then all of a sudden, your driver will keel over in the driver's seat because he's been shot in the head by a sniper rifle. They discharge these things up while you're distracted. And next thing you know, you're dead. Kinda sucks. Nothing much you can do about it though, you just get dealt a bunch more loading screens that you didn't want to see. I guess I'll swap it out now. The narrator insists. Suddenly we're playing the Stanley Parable and obeying the narrator. Another one down. Reaper. Reaper can explode instantaneously. This was my favorite level in the normal campaign because it was like strategic. You could go around, you could hunt particularly low armor opponents because you only have to reach a certain kill count. You need to fill your kill quota. And then you win. It's a fun little twist on what you need to do. Encourages being active and actually thinking about the game. Makes you feel like you're sort of in control. And then in twist difficulty, you just... the AI is so aggressive. It's the exact opposite. You can't control anything. You're just at the mercy of what they throw at you. All you really want to do is move back and forth down the pathway in front of the garage. The only reason I'm leaving that area now is because the overpass has 3 health refills on it. And I need one of them. Normally, when I do this level, 3 Juggernauts is not quite enough HP to get all the way through. So what I do is I use 2 Juggernauts, and then if one has enough HP left, I will break from combat, go over the overpass, fill up his health with normal health refills, and then get back to work. And by then, the first 2 Juggernauts might have regenerated enough inside the garage to be useful again. We're almost done. We could always get sniped in the face. Seen a few enemies try it, actually. I think Roadboat actually slowed me down. I'm supposed to be immune to the magnet attack, but it seemed functional there. Now I'm actually kind of wasting time by going and getting the rest of the health refills, but just to be as safe as possible and minimize the loading screens, because I'm probably going to hit reset again at the end of this level, instead of moving on to the next one and trying to snipe me. Ultimately, the safest thing to do is just go through it, get everyone dead as soon as possible so you don't get murdered. Also, one time, as an example of how poorly programmed this game is, I got sniped in the head while I was very rapidly approaching the garage. And this was on the Thrills and Spills level, so you could approach it dead on rather than this level. Hey, I win. But I was about to go into the garage. got sniped in the head, and I was like, fuck, they got me at the last possible second. And my vehicle drifted without a driver into the garage, and then I switched vehicles, and I was still alive. I wish I'd recorded it, because I survived a headshot. Otherwise, you gotta either perfectly time a shield, which is impossible, or just break the laser. And the enemies are faster than Juggernaut, so they can keep that laser on you, no matter what you do. Now, we've had a lot of fun here today, but what's not fun is street racing. This has been a PSA all along. Do not engage in street racing, or what you're about to see will happen. We are not prepared. But we do have the best possible vehicle. It's Crimson Fury here. Looking like a little toy car with an action figure Mr. Grimm inside. It looks like he's so low in the seat that he should have his feet sticking out underneath the vehicle, but it's a miracle. His entire body fits in that little thing. Let us take advantage of that miracle as best we can by going through this race campaign. I hate these things. They're the worst part of this remake. Except maybe the boss fights, which are coming up soon.
Welcome to the battle race. Another event, another chance for you to fulfill the death wish that you've had since you saw your father's head since you saw your father die. Don't miss too many gates, Mr. Grimm. And please be sure to finish among the top racers to earn a little twisted surprise at the end. For this event, the happy town of Sun Springs, California will serve as your racetrack. It's a nice town, don't you think? Win this race and you'll be one step closer to going back and saving your father. Save your father, change your life. Good luck, Grimm.
One.
So they don't let you, like, do a Mario Kart. Skip ahead. Like, get a big boost off the starting gate, unfortunately. Which would be nice. Just doesn't work. This is likely to happen. Let's see it all again, what do you think? Actually, we're sort of back in gear here. With very appropriate music. Welcome to F-Zero, folks. Even I didn't know that's what we were playing, but here we are. Things are looking good, though. Yeah, enemies will intentionally swerve you away from the gates to make you lose. Which is why you want to burst out ahead of the pack. Close one. There it is. That's how close you can be to the gate and still get counted as missing it. I was like a millimeter outside the direct, like below the gate area. Still killed me. But it's fine. Just enjoy the appropriate music for now. Not appropriate for loading screens, but whatever. What's so great about Crimson Fury is fastest vehicle, so you can immediately boost ahead of the pack, and then they will not crash you out of the way of the gates. They will do everything in their power to push you away from the gates. And eventually Kamikaze will catch up to us, even though Kamikaze is slower than us. Because the AI cheats, of course. The AI is able to maintain turbo while going around this turn, and we are not. And it also has infinite turbo. That counted as a gate miss, but we can afford... Oh god, I'm out of control. That's a problem with Crimson Fury. Once it starts fishtailing, you cannot get control of it again. Oi.
There's 2 more gates, and you will be destroyed.
Hey, back-to-back F-Zero. Anyway. Let's at least see... Oh, wow. Kamikaze got so far ahead that I didn't get to see it. Let's see it. If we are close to the front of the pack, we get to see the level, like, fall apart in front of us. I was probably going to die there anyway, so... better to get it over with sooner than later. Missing 4 gates by that point is excessive. This race is very difficult. And very annoying. If you play as any vehicle besides Crimson Fury or maybe Kamikaze, you will get swerved out of the way of the goals. You will get pit maneuvered. You'll get grabbed by road boats. They will do everything in their power to keep you from hitting the gates. They're so aggressive on Twisted Difficulty, there's very little you can do about it. So you want to be Crimson Fury. I wouldn't trust Kamikaze. I don't like Kamikaze at all. Some of these sharp turns, I let go of the accelerator. Even though Kamikaze's nipping at my heels. This one I have to let go of the accelerator. I even slammed the brake there. Just barely got me through. Ugh. So there we go. I was so distracted by watching the satellite dish collapse into this platform that's so busted that I can't believe that they left it in the game, much less made you drive up it. That I missed a couple gates. But you can see things like actually fall apart in front of us to form the route that we need to take. Which is a neat touch. I wonder if they stole it directly from Split Second, the extremely unpopular racing game where the level falls apart in front of you in a very entertaining way. Not to say it's bad, it was just a, like, commercial failure for some reason. Check out Split Second if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. We're technically at the easy part, however, we need to swerve slightly out of the way to get that Mega Gun. That is actually the most important part of this entire race, getting that particular Mega Gun pickup, and another one that's coming up here. You don't get those, you're done for. Having played the game before, we all know why. I think he stole my Mega Guns. I might be done for. Like, that is actually catastrophic. I'm gonna start sniping him now. If he lets me. Oh, also they will free shot you if you stay anywhere near the pack. Which inspired me to try the same. We got another Mega Gun up here, but let's see who wins. It's gonna be Roadkill and someone else. This did not go well. I have half as many Mega Gun bullets as I need. I might be screwed here. We've seen how important Mega Guns are. The problem with Crimson Fury, we've never seen any Crimson Fury combat before. Crimson Fury sucks at combat. This is a bad vehicle. But you need it to win the race. Oh my god, he took the health refill! I've never seen the enemies do this. They took all the health refills and all the Mega Guns. This is so bad. Of course it would happen when I'm recording. So I literally can't do anything. That sucks so bad. Who wants to win the race again? Not me. I told you the races were bad. This one is so much worse than the first race. I can't even really compare it to the third race, though. Third race might be worse. They're both unbelievably atrocious. This one's like cute on normal difficulty. And then you never want to do it again. I certainly don't want to do it again. Fantastic collision there. Definitely working in my favor. I really should have made a pit stop to get that Mega Gun. Just to avoid any possible repeat of what happened last time. Legitimately cannot believe that, but whatever. We'll win the race again. We are in the best possible vehicle. I literally got stuck in the wall there. I actually couldn't move until I reversed. Collision is bad. This game is a remake of Twisted Metal 1 in every way possible. Watch any of my Twisted Metal 1 playthroughs if you want to know exactly what I mean by that. The AI's not being too shitty. It just got a little bit shitty, though. Intentionally swerving into me. There's an example of really, really bad collision. Like, that ramp does not work. You'd think in playtesting they'd be like, don't make people go up this ramp. And then they do. Actually required. If you go as far as possible to the left side of the ramp, then it works as a normal ramp. But you will miss the gate. I ended up missing the gate anyway. So, I maybe should have done that. Dark side is a brick wall. Will do anything in its power to stop us from progressing. I've had Darkseid end up in the top 4, so it was one of the vehicles I had to fight at the end. And that was undesirable. Oh yeah. They're doing AI stuff. Oh. Just about to hit the easy part, too.
You have lost the battle.
That one started on a bad foot. I immediately got flipped over by a curb, which isn't supposed to be possible, but it happened. What are you gonna do? I expect this level to go very poorly. I warned you, the fun was over once we started the race. In as much as the first few levels were fun, they were kind of fun. The rest of this video, not especially fun. Making that pit stop now, just in case. Got a shield to minimize the amount of damage I'm taking. Kamikaze absolutely should not be able to keep up with me here. But it does. I'm used to it. Kamikaze will harass us for pretty much the entirety. And traffic can also screw us over. As if things weren't random enough. Get back under the gates. It's even worse if you don't play as Crimson Fury, because then Crimson Fury will be one of the enemies. And then you'll basically have like 2 kamikazes doing horrible stuff nonstop. Disrupting everything you need to do. Let me through, goddamn you. So frustrating. So horrible. I hate it all so much. I love the collision, though. That is flawless. Perfect physics engine. That's the side that actually is a ramp. And a good example of how it throws you right past the gate that you need to go through. The hell out of my way, Darkseid. Outlaw, pit maneuver, of course. Yeah, they'll all go for pit maneuvers there. Death Warrant just turned in place to make sure we didn't progress any further. There's a sound of a bell tolling, which is the clock tower in the center of town collapsing as you approach it. Split-second style. Okay. Guess I'll just roll over 100 times. Because the collision on the staircase isn't great either. This one I always stop, because you can get flung all over the place there. Glad that counted as a hit gate. I just barely skirted the edges of it. We're doing okay. We're in 3rd place. We only need to be in the top 4. I guess I'll do this now. Soften that guy up. Our special will be completely useless during the ensuing combat segment. So I guess we might as well waste it now. No way to get kamikaze here. Careful. Wasting my mega guns here. Unacceptable. Stand and fight, kamikaze. Not like that, though. Too much teamwork. I don't care for your teamwork. I mean, it makes sense. They actually are on a team. And we aren't invited. Okay, for the love of God, just hit kamikaze here.
Kamikaze destroyed. 2 opponents left.
Another one down.
Destroyed. 1 enemy remains.
Die already. Yeesh. It's over. That race sucks. That was my best time ever, though. I've never been happier to not hit replay at the end of a level. Because that was the worst, except for what's happening now. The boss fight is much worse than the race. Let's go up against Iron Maiden. Nothing you can say about it except don't watch this. Turn the video off, save yourself. The one benefit is we get to play as Reaper. Reaper is the ideal vehicle for this. Mr. Grimm finally gets to drive a motorcycle. That much is awesome. We'll make the most of it. And we'll get through it. Eventually. But thanks for watching. See you next time. If you do take my advice and tune out.
Welcome to Devil's Canyon, Grimm. Dollface will do anything to get her dream. You think your wish is crazy. Trust me, when it comes to crazy, she's got you beat. But don't worry, I've parked something on the battlefield to give you a fighting chance. You'll need it because Dollface, she's quite ambitious. As you can see.
First shield activated.
Good luck, Mr. Grimm. Your last battle, or your last stand, begins now.
Well, let's make it happen. Kill these horrible things as best we can. Normally, I ignore the limos and go right for the red one. This run, we're going to prioritize the white ones, who will die in one chainsaw, so long as we actually hit them. Like this. If you don't ignore them, they will harass you during the sacrifice sequence. Like, they become hyper-aggressive as soon as you get the faction leader. And with such a low armor vehicle, he won't last very long. Mr. Grimm, Reaper it's called, actually has the lowest HP of any vehicle in the game, which is normally not the case. When Crimson Fury's around, that's supposed to have the lowest armor, but in this game, Reaper gets it. The honors of being weakest. Best to play this safe. Also, it takes a while to generate enough specials to do what we need to do. So, waiting is kind of required. Every other level so far, the gold requirement has been exclusively based on time, and the time limit has been 7.5 minutes. In this level, I believe the time limit is 10.5 minutes, and even that is nigh impossible. Oh, they drove away. Normally, once the limo sees you, it does this. Spins in place to try and get at you. Another one down. Actually, the last limo, besides the plot-relevant one, who I would prefer not to be able to get where it has gotten. Shitty. Dollface has some taunts that I cannot parse at all. Basically incoherent. Way too many effects placed over them. We need this limo to be back where the level started anyway. God damn it all! Mega Guns it is. It's still probably faster to go for another chainsaw. And I hate using all my ammo here. But we sort of have to. Okay. Now we begin the sacrifice. Get as close to the sacrifice machine as possible. Clip right into it, because who cares? This will absorb some of the explosions. Some of them. Not all of them, though. Oh, shit. Here we go. She was sort of trapped there. Once she starts to fire again, she should slow down and we might be able to catch up. Nope. Maybe? Yes! Wow. My health is a bit low, my resources aren't great. I wish this was going better. But, we'll go for it. Not gonna call it just yet. We have as many specials built up as we possibly can get. Nope, didn't mean to do that, though. Ah. 2 limos is a big problem. Because one will distract you and the other will, make horrible things happen to you. Let's see who the craziest is. I'm not going to go for the leader. Same strategy. So that was a shotgun. Shotgun throws off your aim. Like, it jolts you just the tiniest little bit when the shotgun goes off. Even when the shotgun does very little damage because it's fired from a huge distance, it will swerve your vehicle a couple degrees, and that is enough to make your chainsaw miss. I think I shielded one of those fireballs. You sort of have to ignore Iron Maiden itself and hope that it doesn't decide to do this, put its jets over the street, because that, if you drive underneath the jets, can instant kill you. It does so much damage per second that you just explode immediately. Whereas the missiles, miss. You because you're a fast vehicle that is very, very small. So you don't really have to worry about those. The fireballs, their tracking is very poor, so you don't really have to worry about those. You just want this to be as slow and boring as possible. It's a bad boss fight, is what I'm getting at. The fireballs tend to, like, get stuck on the ground and then just pulsate in front of you for a very long time and obscure your vision. Yes. Take advantage of it. Oh my god, I'm stuck on collision. Have I mentioned that I hate this game? Like, this game is terrible. I despise it. It's so close to being good, though. It's infuriating. That absolutely should have hit. But anyway. Like, they really needed to smooth out the collision in a lot of spots. Because it's rough. Like, Twisted Metal Black never had this problem. If Twisted Metal Black could do it, obviously they could do it 11 years later. But they ran out of time. I definitely don't blame the developers for all the problems. They got screwed by Sony, they got screwed by having a small development team and relatively few resources. Holy shit, that was way easier than it should have been. But I'm glad. That cutscene right there, where the nuke hits, I've had it get frozen. Where Dollface just sort of floats in midair and pulsates with electricity forever. And never breaks out of it. Fortunately, it's a cutscene, so you can just skip it. And if you do that, the fight will return to normal. But it is very silly. I could really use a health refill, if I'm being honest. This is one of our last chances to go around and get resources. Because the next phase of the fight locks you in with the Iron Maiden. I'm doing precisely that, thank you. Although I appreciate the advice. Dollface is a real girl boss. You really want to avoid the sewer, but they put 2 health refills inside of it. So you cannot ignore the sewer. If you're playing this game, you're already in the sewer. Just accept it. Odds are you haven't played this game in a very long time, if at all. Here we go. Mega Guns, once again, saving the day. Our chainsaw could do some good work here. I'm gonna take a huge risk and try and do that. I'm already regretting it. Hey, it worked. You can aim it upwards, which makes it feasible to hit her with the chainsaw. Now for the part that sucks. Another part that sucks. Oh god! What is going on? That was just horrible. I need this health refill now. Okay. Flame saw lands. We need to stay inside the shield thing. And she's gonna move it away from us. And everything is curved around, and then we respawn facing away from the boss, and everything's terrible, and I hate this game. It's so chaotic, and she's going back the other way. God damn it. Get the hell back here. You're not even playing fair. This isn't even fair, video game. It's really hard to stay on the map while this is happening. But we're getting there. No, don't drive off the edge, Grimm. How is she so fucking far away? So we are about to see the worst thing about boss fights on Twisted difficulty. No checkpoints. If I leave the barrier again, I'm dead. And we start from the beginning. We do it all again, folks. I hate this game so much. Now, this is a problem with Twisted Difficulty. It's the hardest difficulty, and this is fake difficulty here. Nonetheless, it's complete bullshit, and I hated this boss fight on normal difficulty as well. So, none of this should be happening. I, again, hope that you saved yourself and are not watching this. But if you are watching it, thank you for improving my metrics. I desperately need them. YouTube is burying me in the algorithm these days. But whatever. I got enough in the game to complain about. So we'll stick with that. She's keeping the flame jets on me. Doing a relatively poor job of it, because I should be dead right now. So, if I were to improve this boss fight, I would get rid of the entire nuke segment. Everything we're doing now, completely gone. This part is completely miserable, zero fun, and ultimately doesn't accomplish anything. It just takes down a shield. Just don't give the boss the shield. And there we go. Better boss fight, immediately. These limos are really misbehaving today. I did just drive through a freeze shot and come out completely unaffected, so it is random and glitchy in my favor sometimes. Doesn't matter when or where I kill the final limo now, because we're so far away from the sacrifice point. She just also ignored a free shot. Right there, my vehicle wouldn't turn around because it was touching the median barrier. Good shot with the power missile. Well done. Enemy that's supposed to be easy. Nice flip, Grimm. So now we have a long way to go to deliver this victim into a thresher. So yeah, get rid of this entire nuke segment. I hate it. It's really bad. Best part is bouncing around our victim. Whee! Just ragdoll her. Yeehaw. Keep your chainsaws out, Grimm. Other ways to improve this boss fight. The final phase should be cut out. We'll see it soon enough. But you might remember it. It sucks. Here we go. She, of course, is really far away now. Leads her shots perfectly, so if you just change your direction after she fires, she probably cannot hit you. She is faster than you, though. And by you, I mean me, because you certainly haven't played this game. You have better common sense than that. And eventually she has to slow down to fire her guns. That's when you have a chance to land a nuke. That doesn't matter, because you need to land a second nuke anyway. Even just one nuke would be bad, but it would be better. But no, it's two nukes. It feels like they had like an argument in the design phase, and one person said, I think we should kill the boss with nukes, and the other person said, I think we should have a direct robot fight. And this was their compromise. You do the nukes, then you have the robot fight. And I'm pretty sure that isn't the case, actually. Jaffe is the sole credited director. I don't think he needed to compromise for much of anything. I would fully believe that it was just his call to do nukes and then a boss fight. All as part of the same checkpoint. But it seems like multiple people making bad choices together. Okay, that is the exhaust engine. One hit killing me. Because I had almost full health there. Hooray. Told you that was the thing that could happen. No matter how well I was doing. That is the equivalent of getting headshot with a sniper rifle in this game. Or in this level. Whereas in the main levels you can get headshot with sniper rifles.
Welcome to depth.
Dollface can just instant kill ya. We are honestly still doing fine. As bad as this is going. This is still perfectly expected. Because this is a bad game, and no one should play it on Twisted Difficulty. But it is a curiosity. This definitely exists, and the world must know about it. The world meaning several hundred people who will someday watch this. It's a small world, after all. Special's back. We're going a little faster this time. My chainsaw will not ignite. There, got enough of the straightaway. Now to get to the actual enemies before it turns off. Arr! I got pushed off the edge. I was frozen, so I couldn't do anything about it. But I was also going too fast to do anything about it, so... Such is life. Now I gotta line up my shot rather than use a freeze. Sure, swerve out of the way. You can read inputs, because why not? Okay. Kind of surprised that worked. I got bounced out of the right way and then back into the right direction. And with only one enemy left, not a problem if she goes berserk and tries to save the leader. Which is impossible. Once we touch the leader, she is dead. I mean, you would think she's dead. What we are doing to her right now is lethal. But not only does she survive, she stays in one piece. For sacrificing purposes. This might be my least favorite boss in the game. It's certainly the hardest boss in the game. The final boss is much gimmickier. Did not like having to go underneath those flames, but she elevated just out of them being instant kill at the last second. Wee. Here we go. Get her in the grinder. How quickly this counts down depends on what vehicle you're playing as. And Reaper is among the ones that count down the fastest towards the sacrifice. So that's lucky. We have a shield for our nuke, which we need, but it costs our fuel. She's incredibly far away. That was one hit. We can survive one more, and then the third one will blow up at the nuke. I like this. Oh my god, I missed. Well, who knows where the fuck she is now. This game. Why do the nukes exist? Why? I mean, this is the least fun I've pretty much ever had in my life. But I've had much worse runs in this boss fight. I keep saying that, but I really cannot stress enough how just unbelievably bad this whole boss fight is. It's among the worst in gaming history. But you know, we have to repeat everything. All the limos have respawned. I'm actually surprised that the limos can be killed. Like the white limos don't just respawn infinitely. Pleasantly surprised. I'm very glad that they can be wiped out and stop bothering us while we're trying to work here. And we performed much better on getting the leader this time. Didn't even get across the bridge. Obviously, if going for a gold rank, this would be a reset. Absolutely no chance of getting in the 10.5 minute time limit now.
You have captured an enemy leader.
But there was virtually no chance of it happening anyway. I'm only pretty sure it's 10.5 minutes. Could be lower. It's probably not much higher because my record is like 1140 something. Dodge the fireballs that are coming in blind. So there's no way I actually can dodge them. I just gotta hope they don't hit me. Okay, she's not flying away yet. So we might actually, like, instantly get her. Stay where I can get at you. No, she didn't. She teleported very, very far away. It really sucks when she goes so far away. I'd love to be able to, like, free shot her or something. Anything to get to her faster. Oh, she's close. Very, very, very close. Here we go. Center mass, right in the solar plexus. Skip that cutscene, skip this cutscene. We've seen him enough. Gotta save time wherever the hell we can at this point. Perfectly symmetrical violence. Damn it. There. Rather use the chainsaw, but saves the chainsaw for this one. Of course, they have their free shots back. And I do not have mine yet. There we go. Getting good at free aiming these things. This is why I tried to bring Reaper to the race. Because Reaper can one-hit kill the enemies that win the race. Usually. And that makes the fight at the end of the race much easier. But winning the race is virtually impossible with Reaper. Like I said, pretty much only Crimson Fury and Kamikaze can do it. Nope. Had a chance there. Okay, she's doing some bizarre stuff. That should do it. There we go. Even went sideways to absorb the shot fully. And the faction leader is over near the sacrifice. Very cooperative. do want to freeze her specifically because the limo itself has a shockwave attack that the other limos do not have. And if the shockwave hits you, you get stunned yourself. And then you gotta recharge your chainsaw and all sorts of horrible stuff. Getting the nuke launched here can be bad if it is facing towards the canyon. So I hope that isn't the case. When the nuke finally launches. Doesn't look like it will be. Come on. So close. Got another chance at Lee. Lucky. Very lucky. Her hitbox is so bizarre. Completely inexplicable. So I won't attempt to explain it. I've just said it can't be done. I'm gonna use these stalker missiles. Or die trying. Yep, looks like the latter. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think she was going to move too much. Still faster to go for mega guns here. We probably won't get the chainsaw during the next phase, as we saw. Just a random baby head. These things are very bad at tracking us. So we're pretty much safe from all of Dollface's attacks. Pretty much. Famous last words, I know. Go for the chainsaw, of course. It would be the easiest way to end this. I think she's trying to do the instant kill stomp. Nah, that missed. By a mile. So this sucks. Yeah, she is not participating. But I chopped her legs. Now for the horrible part. Fortunately, this is the last horrible part. And I can sort of see where I am this time. I've got a bunch of stuff built up, but she's moving in a way that I cannot possibly stay inside the self-destruct radius. Shit. Where is she going? Like, there's literally nothing I can do about this. Okay. Back in action. She's down. We win, right? We don't win yet. But we're close. I'm gonna charge up this stalker missile and get her with the rest of my mega guns. Of course, it gets absorbed. I'm gonna throw regular chainsaws at her. There's a frozen thing, and there she finally goes. Good thing she's done, right? This boss fight has definitely gone on long enough, so I'm glad we are finally safe. There's so much more left. So I'm gonna go restock. Oh, you bought my fake out. But it turns out it was fake. She's a severed head. We can't see her right now. But we will. Pretty soon. Oh, she's coming out to play, actually. She has moves that we literally just cannot hit. It seemed like that did 150 damage. She can just fly below the level. Because she's a severed flying head. That's not good. That's really not good. Okay, back on track. I'm gonna cross the bridge. It's safest to cross this bridge. I've never actually fought her out in the canyon area. And this is why. It's a bad idea. But we only have her attacks to worry about. Which, as noted, are so useless that they had to work in an instant kill mechanic. Here we go. Can hit her with this thing. If she ever stops doing that. That's why I saved the health refill. This is pretty absurd. She's not doing the literally can't hit her anymore attack, but she's doing other horrible, irritating things. Shit. Well, guess what? We won anyway. Fuck this boss fight. And fuck this game. I can do it. I've done it multiple fucking times. You don't want to see the entire boss fight again. If you do, it'll be a bonus video, but I promise you, you don't. What are you doing here? I despise you. Ugh. Whatever. Let's just watch Mr. Grimm's ending. Because I can do that, because I've unlocked it. Hey, look. We killed Iron Maiden. I've never gotten killed by that head phase. Not on normal, not on twisted. Whatever. Bad game, bad boss. Grim ending.
All the crap I've done. Oh, you think you're tough? Come on, motherfucker. Bring it. Bring it. All the people I've hurt.
Please, God.
You want to meet God?
No, please don't.
All because of that one night. But now I can change all that. Money, power. They say Calypso can grant any wish. But can he really send me back? Let's see if he can do the impossible.
Hell of an entrance. I'm sure your dad would be proud.
Send me back to save my father, Calypso.
Mr. Grimm, your wish is
Granted. My dad kept a handgun under his seat. He never knew I knew about it. Never thought I'd go snooping around. Send me back, Calypso. I gotta admit, I'd have shot that motherfucker too. Bring it!
Mr. Grimm. I'm sure your dad would be proud.
That's the intro to the next storyline. And I'm going to cut that music out, because it's licensed. But there we go. No matter the ending, Mr. Grimm ends up dead. This time, he was his own origin story. Time travel never makes any sense in these games. Let's at least honor Mr. Grimm by not putting fucking Dollface on his motorcycle. What an insult. No. Skulls. There we go. This is how it was meant to be. And we'll turn the music back on as we sign off. Sorry we didn't actually win. This video could have gone a little longer. I mean, technically it only takes 10 minutes to beat that boss. On a good run. Plus another 50 seconds of loading. Maybe a little more. But, I'm sick of it. That was like the longest hour and a half of my fucking life. Good God. And it's gonna be even worse when I do it all again in the Dollface campaign. See you for that eventually. Join me for further Twisted Mondays where I actually enjoy myself. But someday we'll get back to Dollface's campaign. Hope you enjoyed the Mr. Grimm campaign. It wasn't that bad. There's a certain satisfaction to getting through it. And I honestly don't know why the Dollface head at the end behaved the way it did. I've never seen it do any of the things it did. Also, it seemed to take much less damage. I hit it dead on with a chainsaw, charged up chainsaw, and the health bar barely budged. That's supposed to be like a third of its health. So, weird. Weird stuff all around. But, thank you for watching, of course. In fact, I am Fiendly, and I thank you for watching Twisted Monday.